Okay, Namaskaram, and welcome to Prabandhams and Stotrams. We have started learning Swami Desikan's aDaikkalapattu. As I mentioned last time, Swami Desikan's Tamil works are called Desika Prabandham, and aDaikkalapattu belongs to that Desika Prabandham. aDaikkalam is the Tamil word for Sharanagati or Prapatti. Pattu means 10. So this is 10 pAsurams, or actually 11 pAsurams about Sharanagati. It's considered the counterpart of Srinivasan Dashakam, but I mentioned that this is not exactly identical in content. There are some things that are slightly different here, and also perhaps more elaborate than in Srinivasan Dashakam. But the framework is still the same. So the 5 angas of Prapatti, etc., are still the same. And so you should first go through the Nyasa Dashakam videos in order to make full sense of this aDaikkalapattu. And I mentioned that we get this almost for free. So to the extent that we have already talked about Prapatti extensively, I will try to go through the pAsurams a little bit faster than we normally would, because the infrastructure has been established already. Okay, with that, I will start with my own prayer for this session to go well. ஆழ்வார்கள் ஆச்சாரியர் அருளை இவ்வுலகினிலே வாழ்வார்கள் தம்மிடையே பரப்பிடவே ஆழ்வானே ஞாலத்தில் அணுவின் சிறுமதியுடைய ஏழைக்கு காலத்தில் அருளாயோ கால்முகிலே. The saint composes grace, and yes, preceptors too, to spread it far and wide. O Lord, who rules his soul, alas, his wisdom small, an atom sure to shame. Your blessing won't you give, O cloud that bears the rain. Now, Desika Prabandhams, we usually start with 2 taniyans, one in Sanskrit and one in Tamil. The Tamil taniyan I will teach today. And then so the next time we say it, you will know both the taniyans. The first taniyan, which is a Sanskrit taniyan, you know already. So you can say it along with me. Ramanuja Daya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanatharyam Vande Vedanta Deshikam. Okay, so we went through the introduction part last week, and we finished up by saying that Swami Desikan has a particular affinity toward the Perarulalan of Kanchipuram. And in fact, when he was declaring his wealth, I quoted this slokam from Vairagya Panchakam, in which he said that in Appa Sambadicha Padam Paisa Valavnu Kettelnaka, Adu Konju Onnu Kuda Illa, Na Evalavu Sambadichu Chetu Vechirukkennu Kettelnaka, Aduvum Onnu Kuda Illa. Ana fortunately, என்னோட தாத்தா இருக்காரு பிதாமகன், அவர் வந்து சேமிச்சு வச்சிருக்கார். அவர் சேர்த்து வச்சிருக்கிற சொத்து எங்க இருக்குன்னாக்க ஹஸ்திகிரிங்கிற மலை மேல இருக்கு. அந்த மலை மேல உள்ள ஒரு சொத்து தான் எனக்கு இருக்கிற ஒரே சொத்து அப்படிங்கிறார். அது என்னது அந்த சொத்து? அப்கோர்ஸ் ஹஸ்திகிரி மலை மேல இருக்கிற பெரிய சொத்து வந்து அந்த காஞ்சி பேரருளாளன், ஆல்சோ known as வரதராஜ பெருமாள் ஆர் தேவராஜ பெருமாள். அது ஒண்ணுதான் எனக்கு இருக்கிற பெரிய சொத்து, எனக்கு இருக்கிற பெரிய செல்வம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்றார். So as far as Swami Desikan is concerned, the greatest wealth that he possessed in this world was the blessing of the Perarulalan of Kanchipuram. And this aDaikkalapattu is actually composed as a Sharanagati or as a Prapatti to Perarulalan of Kanchipuram. Okay, and it's much more explicit here than in Sri Nyasa Dashakam. In Nyasa Dashakam also, that is also a Prapatti to the Kanchi Perarulalan, but you will hear him mention the Varada only a few times in Nyasa Dashakam, but here he has no hesitation in specifying exactly which Perumal is addressing this Desika Prabandham to. Okay. So let's, I told you that there is a Tamil Padigam, Tamil Taniyan. So let's learn the Tamil Taniyan. So basically, let me first give you the overall summary meaning, and then I will go through the Taniyan and the Padavurai, the individual word meanings. So what it's going to say is that Swami Desikan, it will refer to him as Thiruvenkadamurayan. Now, why is he referred to as Thiruvenkadamudayan? Because he is an amsam of the Lord of Thiruvenkadam's bell, the Ghanta. So he is supposed to be an amsam or incarnation of the bell of the Thirumalai, of Thiruvenkadam, and therefore he is referred to as Thiruvenkadamudayan. And he is also referred to as Thupul Thiruvenkadamudayan. Thupul is Swami Desikan's Avatara Sthalam. So he's referred to as Thupul Thiruvenkadamudayan. And of course, it's going to say that he has composed a lot of glorious works, and people of this world are very intimately engaged in chanting and learning the pAsurams of pAsurams or slokams of this Swami Desikan. And it says that the pAsurams are so glorious that you don't really need to learn all of them in order to attain the feet of Emperuman. Even one or two from his wide collection of stotrams and prabandhams, even a very tiny part will be sufficient for you to lead a life which will ultimately take you to Paramapadam. It actually poses a rhetorical question by saying, well, won't it be enough to learn just one or two of his works in order to lead a life that will take us to Paramapadam? Okay, so basically that's what this Taniyan is going to say. So it goes something like this. Sirondru Thupul Thiruvenkadamudayan. Thiruvenkadamudayan, like I said, it's because he's considered as an amsam of the Lord of Thiruvenkadam, specifically his bell. He's referred to as Thiruvenkadamudayan, Swami Desikan is. And his Thupul Thiruvenkadamudayan, that is the Avatara Sthalam of Swami Desikan. Seer Ondru. Seer means multiple things. Seer means glory. Glory is one meaning of seer. It also refers to Kalyana Gunas. And so it says that he is filled with Kalyana Gunas. Now, Seer Ondru. What does it mean to say Ondru? Ondru normally means one, but then it could also extend it to mean the one and only one. So in other words, it's very unique. It's incomparable. So his Kalyana Gunas are incomparable. So he has incomparable Kalyana Gunas, and his Acharyan is from Thupul, and is an amsam of the Lord of Thiruvenkadam. So basically, that's what the first line says. Sirondru Thupul Thiruvenkadamudayan, Par Ondra Chonna Paramuriyol. Muri, of course, means words, or in this case, literary works. So Paramuriyol means very glorious works. So the glorious granthams of Swami Desikan, he has said many of them. Among all of those, Paramuriyol, meaning among those glorious works, Par Ondra Chonna. Par means the world. உலகம் அதில் ஒன்றி இருக்கிறது, அதில் லயித்து இருக்கிறது. அவர் எழுதிய ஸ்தோத்திரங்களிலும் பிரபந்தங்களிலும் உலகம் முழுவதும் லயித்து இருக்கிறது அல்லது ஒன்றி இருக்கிறது. ஸோ அவர் சொன்ன பழமொழிகளில், அவர் சொன்ன பிரபந்தங்கள் ஸ்தோத்திரங்களில் உலகமே ஒன்றி இருக்கிறது. So the whole world is deeply engaged in learning or chanting the glorious works that he has composed. And among those, even orondru, just one or two, are at very tiny part, but that itself will do, won't it? It asked that question rhetorically. It's just a tiny bit of it, just one or two of them will be sufficient for people to learn so that they can lead a life that will take them to Paramapadam. Orondru thane amayado, one or two or a tiny bit. Thane, that itself, amayado is a rhetorical question, so you can think of it as even a tiny part will do, won't it? That's what it asks. Amayado means that will do, won't it? Tharaniyil varvarku. Tharani means in the ulagathil, in this world. So people who live in this world, for them to what? For them to get a life that will take them all the way to Paramapadam. Varvarku. Vanera pomalavum varve. To give them a life that will take them all the way to Paramapadam. Van era pomalavum varve. Van means usually sky or heaven. In this case, it refers to the Paramapadam or moksham. Vanera pomalavum varve. So to lead a life that will lift them all the way to Paramapadam. Okay. So it's basically, it's the glory of his works. Okay. And It doesn't say specifically that it's referring to Deshika Prabandhams. It's referring to all of Swami Deshikan's works. But this is the Taniyan that precedes any Deshika Prabandham. Okay, so let's see how we can chant it. So as usual, I will chant each line once, and then when I chant it the second time, you can chant with me. Sirondrudu pul tiruvengadamudaiyan, Sirondrudu pul tiruvengadamudaiyan, Parunrachanna paramuriyur, Parunrachanna paramuriyur, ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணையில் வாழ்வார்க்கு, ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணையில் வாழ்வார்க்கு, வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு, வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு. So now we'll say that whole Taniyan together, all of us together. சீரொன்றுது புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான், ஆறொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள், ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணையில் வாழ்வார்க்கு, வானேரப் போவளவும் வாழ்வு. Okay, so as we chanted multiple times, we will get used to this Taniyan. Okay, so the Taniyan is relatively easy to understand. And now we get to the pAsurams of aDaikkalapattu. And some of these pAsurams we have already come across, at least informally, in the context of Srinivasan Dashakam. So they may sound familiar to you. So I will still try to go through them briefly, perhaps not in as much detail, because I've already covered them in the context of Nyasa Dashakam. Now, the first pAsuram, it talks about the idea of karpanyam or akinchanyam, and on kainmudal illadavan, I don't have the capital with which to do anything other than prapatti. So that's exactly what it's going to say. Remember that when we talked about Srinivasan Dashakam, there were 5 angas. One of those 5 angas was called karpanyam, also known as akinchanyam, where you say, கிஞ்சித்தும் என்னிடம் இல்லை, கொஞ்சம் கூட என்னிடம் இல்லை, கொஞ்சம் கூட எனக்கு சக்தி இல்லை பிரபத்தியை தவிர வேறு ஒரு உபாயத்தையும் கையாள்வதற்கு. So that's the message of this particular pAsuram, karpanyam. Karpanyam, like I said, is just a technical term which means I'm incapable, I'm a destitute, I'm incapable of doing anything other than prapatti. In particular, I'm not suitable for the bhakti margam, which is very intense, very laborious, and I'm not at all suited for that. So I'm a destitute, so I have surrendered to the Lord of Mercy at Kanchipuram. So that is the synopsis of this particular pAsuram. So let's go through the summary. So it's going to say that basically I am an akinchanan, that is, I have no political, I'm one with no capital, not political capital, I'm with no spiritual capital, if you will. I am an akinchanan, I don't have any capital. So what does that mean? I'm destitute. Destitute in what sense? It doesn't mean that my bank balance is low. It just means that in upayams for attaining moksham, such as bhakti margam, I have not been able to attain the purusha. That is, the purusha in the supreme being. I've not been able to attain him through any of these other margams, such as the bhakti margam. So in that sense, I am an akinchanan, so I am destitute. So this is explicitly saying what would be referred to as karpanyam. And here Swami Deshikan gives an example. He says, I am like that kakasuran from Srimad Ramayanam. I'm like that kakasuran who ran in distress in all directions looking for a refuge. You may remember the story of kakasuran. So when Sri Rama and Sita and Lakshmana were at Chitrakuta in the forest, so when Sri Rama was resting on the lap of Sita Devi, this Kakasuran, who is actually the son of Indra, he improperly touched Sita Devi on her bosom, and as a result, Sri Rama woke up, and he was, of course, angry with the Kakai. And so he pulled a blade of grass and sent it in the direction of that crow as a brahmastram. and that Brahmastrams chased the Kakai all over the world, Kakashuran all over the worlds, and everybody, he went to Rishis, he went to Devas, and he went to all these celestials. All of them closed the door on him, saying that no, this is something that we cannot deal with. And so he finally returned and fell exhausted at Sri Rama's Tiruvadi in surrender. And of course, Sri Rama, he was accompanied by Sita Devi. And wherever there is Sita Devi or Pirati, you know that there is Purushakaram, that she will take mercy on the person who has committed a sin. And that's exactly what happened. So because of her Purushakaram, instead of taking his life, Sri Rama ended up taking away the vision, the eyesight of the Kakashuran. And so Swami Desikan thinks of himself, he compares himself to that crow that went everywhere looking for a refuge and could not find it anywhere else. So it returned to the feet of Lord Rama. And so Swami Desikan says, I'm in that position. I tried everything else and I have not found the way to reach moksham. And so therefore I am surrendering to you as, O Lord of Hastigiri. So I'm like that Kakashuran who ran in distress in all directions looking for a refuge and finally fell exhausted at Sri Rama's Tiruvadi in surrender. And so then now it brings himself to Kanchipuram. He says in Kanchipuram, which is the most important of the 7 moksham granting holy cities. And of course, in India, whenever people want to emphasize that something is very holy, they will be perhaps prone to some exaggeration by saying, for example, that if you were born in this city, or if you lived in this city, or if you died in this city, you are sure to attain moksham. So the Muktidaram Nagari area, so among the 7 cities which have the reputation of getting you moksham, he says that Kanchipuram is one of them, and not only that it's one of them, it is the most important of them. That's what Swami Desikan is saying in Kanchipuram, which is the most important of the 7 moksham granting holy cities. And the 7 moksham granting cities are Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya or Haridwar, Kashi, Kanchi, Avanti or Ujjain, and Dwaraka. So you can see that Kanchi is appearing there. But he calls Kanchipuram, they're not only one of those 7, but the most important of those 7. He says, so in Kanchipuram, which is the most important of the 7 moksham granting holy cities, I surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord of Mercy, the Per Arulalan. So the Lord of Mercy, Arul Alan, Arul means mercy, Alan means one who rules, or basically one who is the Lord. So Arul Alan means the Lord of Mercy. Per Arulalan means Lord of great mercy. Okay, so Per Arulalan, I surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord of mercy of Hastigiri. Hastigiri is that hill on which that temple is located. Hasti means Yane, Giri means the Kundru or hill. So Hastigiri is Yane Malai. So you'll see Swami Desikan referring to this as Nagamalai. Nagamalai means also Yana Malai. Also Sindura Virpu. Sindura means Yane, Virpu means hill. So they will be referring to this particular kshetram as Hastigiri in many, many pAsurams. I surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord of Mercy of Hastigiri as the only path to liberation. So basically the bottom line is, I am a destitute. So I recognize this karpanyam, that is, I have no capital, and therefore I know that I'm not suited for bhakti margam, etc. And therefore I am surrendering to the Perarularan at Kanchipuram. Okay, so let's go through the pAsuram and try to learn the meaning word by word. Patti mudalam avatril, padi yanakku koodamal. So patti is the Tamil word for bhakti. Okay, so it's actually the literal word imported from Sanskrit. Patti mudalam. Patti is really bhakti. Bhakti mudalam avatril. Mudalam means, so mudalam avatril means etc. Mudalam means starting with bhakti, and if there are others that upayams that can be tried, I've tried all of them. So bhakti mudalam avatril. So all the other margams such as bhakti, I have tried. However, I was not able to obtain moksham. Padi yanakku koodamal. Padi means husband. So one way to look at it is that the Supreme Being, Emperuman, is a Purusha, and all of us Jivatmas are female. So in that sense, when we try to attain moksha, we are really trying to attain a husband, if you will. And so what Swami is saying is that the process of trying to attain moksha, to be in Paramapadam with the only Purusha, so he refers to that as kind of the husband. So the equivalent of trying to get the husband. Padi yanakku koodamal. I try to get my husband, or try to attain the Purusha through all of these methods. Anal yanakku koodavillai. So, but I was not able to attain him. So in Bhakti Margam, etc., the Purusha has not been within reach to me. Padi yanakku koodamal. Again, the color code indicates which word has what meaning. So that should be fairly obvious for you to see. So I tried all the other margams like Bhakti, and I was not able to attain Paramapadam. Yed disayam means direction. Yed disayam means ella disaygalum, all directions. Urandru odi. Urandru means in distress. Odi means ran. So running in distress in all directions, because now he's referring to that Kakashuran. Ilaithu virum kagam pol. Kagam refers to that Kakashuran. So like the Kakashuran that ran or flew in all directions into all worlds and in distress, and still was not able to find a refuge. So what did he do? Ilaithu. So Ilaithu means exhausted. Virum, he fell at the feet of Lord Rama. So Ilaithu virum kagam pol. So running in distress in all directions. Kakashuran fell exhausted in surrender at Sri Rama's feet. Avanai pol, so like him, like that Kakashuran. Mukti means mukti. Mukti means, of course, liberation. Mukti taru nagar eril. So nagar means city, eril means seven. So among the 7 cities that grant mukti or moksham, mukkiyamam kachi danil. Aவைகளில் மிக முக்கியமானது கச்சி என்று சொல்லப்படும் காஞ்சிபுரம். So the most important of them all is Kanchipuram, says Swami Desikan. And so that's at least, I think he glorifies Kanchipuram by giving it that status of being not only one of the 7, but being the most important of that 7. Mukkiyamam Kachidane. So in that city of Kachi or Kanchipuram, Attigiri Arulalakku, the Arulalan, the Per Arulalan of Hastigiri, Avanidam, aDaikkalam nan puhundene. aDaikkalam means refuge. Nan puhundene. So I surrendered, or I took refuge at the feet of that Lord of Hastigiri, that Perarulalan of Hastigiri. Okay, so it's relatively easy to understand, and I'll elaborate on this pasuram and then go back and chant it. So this the story of Kakashuran has been told in many verses, both in Tamil and then Sanskrit. In Tamil, in Periyarvar Tirumari, there is a particular padigam called Nerinda Karungural Madavai Ninnadiyen Vinnappam. Nerinda Karungural Madavai Ninnadiyen Vinnappam. Sherinda Manimudi Chanagan Chilayiruthinai Kurandade. It's a very beautiful padigam of Periyarvar, and it refers to an incident in Sri Ramayana, particularly in Sundarakandam. You remember that Sita Devi was a prisoner in the Ashokavanam, and of course, this is the time when Hanumanji met him. So at the time Hanumanji met Sita Devi, Ravana, she was very despondent. She was in considerable despair because Ravana had just come and gone. He had given her an ultimatum, and she was, and her love, Sri Rama, had not been able to find her so far, let alone mount an offensive to rescue her. And at that time, Hanumanji appears in front of her, and he tries to tell her that he is Rama Dhutan. Now, you have to put yourself in the position of Sita Devi. She knows that Ravana is capable of trickery. So he's capable of deceit. He's capable, அவன் ஒரு வேஷதாரி என்பது அவளுக்கு தெரியும். So she knows that he can assume the form of this monkey. So in her mind, maybe it is Ravana who is appearing as monkey and claiming to be a messenger from Sri Rama. So she does not trust him. But just to overcome that distrust, Hanumanji goes through the process of describing certain incidents from the joint life of Sri Rama and Sita Devi, And so the incidents that are only known to them, not known to others. And so in every pasuram of this padigam, you will see one episode from their life being mentioned. So the idea is that when Hanumanji recites these episodes, explains these, or tells her about these episodes, she will achieve greater and greater faith that yes, this in fact is Sri Rama's messenger. Okay, so one of those pasurams refers to that incident in Chitrakoda. This is a very beautiful padigam because we all love Sundarakandam. When we are in a moment of despair, we read Sundarakandam because it's exactly because of this, because Hanuman ji was able to dispel that despair, dispel that despondency, and bring about hope in Sita Devi. And how did he bring hope? Bring hope. That's exactly by convincing her that he is Ramadhutan and that Sri Rama will come and rescue her. So this is a very important padigam. That when you go through that padigam, it's almost like going through Sundarakandam yourself. So you will find the same comfort, and we will try to teach this later in the Prabandhams and Stotrams. But anyway, this pasuram says, Chitragoda Tiruppa Chiruhakkai Mulaidinda. So Chitragoda Tiruppa, so this is Hanuman talking to Sita Devi. So he says, Chitragoda Tiruppa, when you and Sri Rama were in Chitragodam, Chiruhakkai Mulaidinda, when this small crow, it inappropriately touched you in your bosom, Mulaidinda. Then what did Sri Rama do? Astirame konderiya. Astirame means astiram, Brahmastram. He threw a blade of grass as Brahmastram. Astirame konderiya. Anettulagam tirindodi. So what did the Kakashuran do? He went to all the worlds looking for someone who would give him protection. Anettu ulagam tirindodi. So he ran in all directions to all those worlds. And then what did he do? Finally, he realized that he had no other refuge except the feet of Sri Rama. So what did he do? He comes back to Sri Rama and he says, Vittagane. Vittagane means, oh, wonderful one. So Vittu also means seed. Also, seed means you are the first cause. Oh, the seed of everything in this universe. Vittagane, Rama. Oh, endra Ardana. Oh, Rama. Oh, Nin Abhayam endaraippa. So I seek your protection endru araippa endru solla. Astirame, that Brahmastram, Adan Kannai, the eye of that crow, Aruttadum or Adayalam, he destroyed the eye of that crow, Aduvum or Adayalam. So this is also an evidence that I want you to take into account in figuring out whether or not I am the true messenger of Sri Rama. Okay? So it's very, very beautiful pasuram. We'll try to learn this padigam later. And so you can see that this Kakai was saved, the Kakashuran was saved by the Purushakaram, the mercy of Sita Devi, the mercy of Periya Prati in general. The Purushakaram means recommender of mercy. So that's the role that she plays. And it's very beautiful. Of course, that role has been mentioned in multiple instances in Divya Prabandham and other stotrams as well. I'll just give you one small example. So you've heard the expression, Agalagillen Irayam Endru Alarmel Mangai Uraimarba. That is, Periya Pirati says, I will not leave him even for a moment. And so she resides in his Vakshasthalam, in his holy chest all the time, even in incarnations, even when he takes incarnation. So even when he took the incarnation of Mahabali, to the Vamana, the incarnation of the Vamana, the brahmachari, the tiny brahmachari, of course he's a brahmachari, he's not married. So in that sense, she cannot accompany him as his wife, but she was still there in his Vakshasthalam, in his holy chest. And so apparently, in the Periya Tirumari of Tirumangai Alvar, he says that on his puno of this Vamana, this brahmachari, there was this man told that the deer skin, and that deer skin, was right over his chest where Pirati will be residing. So in that sense, that man told that piece of deer skin that was tied to the puno, so that was hiding her. And of course, it did a useful job because Emperuman was afraid that if Periya Pirati, who is always in his Vakshasthalam, if she ever looked at Mahabali, then her Purushakaram will take over and the mission will be spoiled. The entire mission of the Vamana Avataram will be spoiled. So fortunately, the deer skin came in handy, and it apparently obstructed the view of Pirati, so that he could not see, she could not see this Mahabali, and therefore should not recommend him for Emperor's mercy. So Tirumangayarvar says, "Man konda tol marbil maniyai Mavali man tan kondu thalal alarnda Perumanai." So it refers to the Emperor as one who man konda tol, that is the deer skin, marbil maniyai. So the deer skin marbil. So he had that deer skin on his chest. Maniyai means Manakanai, as a student of the Vedas. So in this case, so therefore a student of the Vedas, a brahmachari. Mahabali man tan kondu thalal alarnda Perumanai. Mahabaliயுடைய மண்ணை நிலத்தை தான் கொண்டு தாளால் அளந்த பெருமானை, தன் கால்களால் அவன் அளந்தான், அந்த எம்பெருமானை நான் வணங்குகிறேன். That's what Tirumangay Alvar says. So the deer skin therefore kept Pirati from seeing Mahabali and giving him her kataksham, which would have spoiled the mission of the Vamana Avataram. Now, Swami Desikan also says, Muktidara Nagareril Mukkiyamam Kachidanil. Why is he saying that it is the most important? Of course, he's just glorifying it. But there are many reasons as well. Brahma, from the, from all the Ativarada stories, that Brahma performed an Astameda Yaga in Kanchipuram. It's also known as Satyavrata Kshetram. Astameda Yaga here to have Darshana of Emperor, who appeared from the Agni. So he did Avid Bhavitan Suluava. Avid Bhavitan means he appeared from the Agni Kundam, and the face of Emperor has burn marks to prove that he came from the Agni Kundam. And pleased with the Yajna, the Emperor granted a boon to Brahma, and hence he acquired the name Varada Rajan. Varam Kudukkum Rajan. So okay, Varam means boon. So that the Lord who gave the boon, that's what Varadarajan means. And also Emperor was worshipped here in Kanchipuram and Treta Yuga by Gajendra. And of course, the name Hastigiri is supposed to derive from that fact. And also Kanchipuram has been associated with many acharyas. Not necessarily all lived here or were born here, but they have had extensive periods of association with Kanchipuram. Sri Alavandar, Tirukkoshtiur Nambi, Periya Nambi, Tirukach Nambi, then Bhagavat Ramanuja, Swami Desikan, etc. Okay, so because of all these reasons, Swami Desikan decided to make it the most important of the 7 holy cities. Okay, and the Pugalvandilla Adiyenvan Adikkilappattu Puhundene. This is a line from Thiruvaimuri of Sri Nammalvar. And you can see that it also uses the message of Karpanyam. Pugalvandru illa adiyen. This adiyen who has no refuge. Pugalvandru illa adiyen. Un adikkil amarndu puhundene. Therefore, I surrendered at your feet. Now, that's exactly what Swami Desikan is saying here. So he's saying, Attigiri Arulalar Kadekkalam nan puhundene. And then in the first few lines, he says he has no pugal, he has no refuge as well. Okay. Okay, so let's try to chant this. So you can see wherever the asterisks are, we will pause. So I will chant each phrase twice. The second time I chant it, you will chant it with me. Okay. Patti mudalaamavattril, adiyanakku koodamal, எத்திசையம் உழன்றோடி, இளைத்து விழும் காகம் போல், முத்திதரு நகரேழில், முக்கியமாம் கச்சிதனில், அத்திகிரி அருளாளர்க்கு அடைக்கலம் நான் புகுந்தேனே. So let's chant the whole pasuram together once. By the way, this pasuram is meant to be recited twice when you say the whole padiyam, but right now we'll just chant it once. But this R symbol means it is to be repeated. So let's chant the whole pasuram together. Patte முதலாமவற்றில் பதியனக்கு கூடாமல் எத்திசையும் முழன்றோடி இளைத்து விழும் காகம் போல் முத்திதரு நகரேழில் முக்கியமாம் கச்சிதனில் அத்திகிரி அருளாளர்க்கு அடைக்கலம் நான் புகுந்தேனே. It's a very beautiful pasuram. Okay, now let's go to pasuram number 2. So in the first pasuram, he said, I'm an akinchanan, I have no capital, I'm a destitute. So in here, he's going to say, ananya gatitvam, எனக்கு உன்னை விட்டால் வேறு ஒரு கதியும் கிடையாது. Anya gati means somebody is a refuge other than Emperuman. Ananya gati means nobody is a refuge other than Emperuman. So he's going to say that I've surrendered to Sri Vaishnavite in Kanchipuram as my soul's savior, as my soul protector. Okay, so that's what ananya gatitva means. Unnai vittal yanakku veru oruvarum kedaiyadu. Okay, so the summary meaning is here. So here Swami Desikan is saying, so he's saying, why am I surrendering to you? Why am I not surrendering to, say, Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma or any of the devas, for example? So he's giving a reason for why he's not doing that. He says that I realized that Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all the devas derive their power due to their karma phalan. So in Sri Vaishnavam, of course, Emperuman is considered the supreme being. And all the others, all the other gods, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, etc. So Emperuman is supposed to be antaryami in all of them. That is, he is resident in them, and he is the prime mover of them, etc. Okay. So here, Swami Desikan is emphasizing that point, and he even goes beyond that to say that Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all the devas, whatever the power that they have, that is due to their karma phalan. And the thing about karma phalan is that once you exhaust the karma phalan, the benefits that you were enjoying from it will cease as well. So when that karma phalan is expended, that phalan vanishes, and thus their power is transient. So that's what Swami Desikan is saying. So he says, I realized this, so I have not sought refuge with them. So this is the ananya gatitvam point. I am not seeking refuge with anybody other than you. You are my soul savior, you are my soul protector, and that's the message of this entire pasuram. So I have surrendered to Sri Vaishnavite as my soul savior. He is the Lord of mercy. He is resident in Hastigiri of Kanchipuram with Sri Devi, who resides on the fragrant lotus flower, never leaving him. That aDaikkalappattu message is strong here again. That message, aDaikkalappattu, I'm not going to leave him, so says Sri Devi. That message is also captured in this particular pasuram. Okay, so again, the point is that I'm not surrendering to other gods because of this reason. They are not the supreme being. The supreme being is Emperuman. So that is Sri Vaishnavism. Okay, so let me go through the pasuram and try to understand the word by word meaning of the pasuram. Shadaimudiyan Sadurmugan Endru Ivar Mudalam Taramellam. Shadaimudiyan, Shadaimudiyai Konda Shiva Peruman. So Shiva Peruman is supposed to have this Shadaimudi, or this matted hair. So Shadaimudiyan refers to Lord Shiva. Chaturmukhan means Chaturmukhan. Chatur means four, as you know. So this is a kind of a Sanskrit word Tamirized. Chaturmukhan means that refers to Brahma, the one with four faces. So Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Endru, thus, Ivar Mudalam Taramellam. Ivar Mudalam means starting with them and going through all the gods in heaven. Ivar Mudalam Ivar Mudalam. So all of them. So think of this as an etc. Taram Ellam. So Taram, the word Taram is said to mean power here. So their power, all of their power, that is the power of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and everyone like him. So namely all the devas, Indra, etc. Their power, Taram Ellam. What is this? It is nothing but Vinay Payan. அவர்கள் அடைந்த வினை பயனால் வந்தது. So அவர்களுடைய வினை பயனால் அடைந்த சக்தி அது. So their karma palan, so that they attained this power because of their karma palan. ஆகி, so அடைய வினை பயன் ஆகி அழிந்து விடும். Therefore, it is subject to disappearing. It's supposed to, it is subject to, it is prone to being used up and therefore vanishing. அழிந்து விடும் means it's prone to being destroyed. So it's prone to vanishing. அழிந்து விடும் படிகண்டு. So that is the nature of the power that they have. Padi means nature. So the nature of their power is that it is transient, because their power derives from their karma palan, it says, Swami Desikan says, and kandu means realizing that. So I realized that, and therefore what did I do? I surrendered to the Lord of Hastagiri in Kanchipuram. And he describes that Lord thus, Kadimalaral Piriyada Kachinagar Attigiri Idamudaya Arulalar. So Arulalar means that Per Arulala Perumal. Now, he is describing that Per Arulala Perumal. He is resident in Hastigiri. So Attigiri Idamudaya. Hastigiriyai Idamaga Konda Per Arulalan. Where is this Hastigiri? It is in Kachi Nagar. It is in Kanchipuram Nagar. Nagar means city, Kachi means Kanchipuram. So in the city of Kanchipuram, on the Hastigiri, the hill, so having that as his residence is this Per Arulalan. And not only that, Kadi Malaral Piriyada. So Kadi Malaral, Kadi means fragrant, Malar means flower, specifically lotus, Kadi Malaral. So the lady who is resident on that fragrant lotus flower, of course he is referring to Periya Pirati, Piriyada, so she never leaves him. Okay, so again, going back to that message of I will not leave you even for a moment. Kadimalaral Piriyada Kachinagar Attigiri. So the Emperman who is never left, who is never separated from the lady who lives on, who is resident on this fragrant lotus flower, that Emperman, Inai Adigal, Adigal means of course feet, Inai means a pair. So Emperman's pair of feet, Emperman's lotus feet, Adendene, I surrendered to him. Okay, so it's very simple. So basically the idea is I cannot surrender to other gods because they are not supreme being. The only supreme being I know of is Emperman. So I surrendered to him in the city of Kanchipuram, specifically to this Per Arulalan who is situated on the Hastigiri, on this Yanai Malai. Okay, so that's the meaning of this particular pasuram. Now remember that when we were going through Nyasa Dashakam, we said that the first 4 verses of the Nyasa Dashakam were kind of a statement of the Dvaya Mantram. And the Dvaya Mantram is famous for stating the fact that it is Shriyapati. So Sriman Narayana Charana, that's Sriman Narayana Charana, Sri accompanied Narayana. So that is a key message of Dvayam. So Emperman is always accompanied by Sri Devi or Periya Pirati. And you can see that that message is also conveyed here in this pasuram, Kadimalaral Piriyada Kachinagar Attigiri. So you can say that in some sense, it tries to capture the same aspect that Sri Nyasa Dashakam carried, namely, it talked about the Sri accompanied Emperman as the upayam for attaining moksham, and that is what this is referring to as well. So you can say that this is the upayam part of the Dvaya Mantram again, because it talks about Kadimalaral Piriyada Kachinagar Attigiri Idamudai Arulalar. So this is Shriyapati, Inai Adigal Adenda Inaya. So I surrendered to him as my upayam for attaining moksham. Okay, so let me try to just elaborate on this pasuram and then we will chant it. Chadaimudiyan Sadurmukhan Endri Varmudalam Tharamallam Adayavanai Payanagi Arindavidam Padigande. So Swami Desikan says that all the other gods they are not supreme beings. And of course, like I said, that this is a fundamental point of Sri Vaishnavism. And so there are many pasurams from say Divya Prabandham as well that convey that point. They convey the point that Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all the devas, etc. So they are all, they all have Emperuman Antaryami in them. So for example, in Periya Tirumari of Tirumangayalvar, this particular one that I'm quoting is a Tirunangur Mangala Shasnam. It says here that Emperuman is Yavarumai, Yavaimai. So basically, in Sri Vaishnavism, everyone is a shariram of Emperuman. So the concept in Sri Vaishnavism is that everything, all the chetanas, all the achetanas, they are all the shariram of Emperuman. Okay, so when it says here, Yavarumai, so Emperuman, Yavarumai means everyone. Yavarumai, everyone is a shariram of Emperuman. Yavai, so this is obviously referring to the chetanas, the sentient ones. Yavaimai, these are refers to the achetana or the insentient ones. So the insentient ones, they're also the shariram of Emperuman. Eril Veda Purulhalumai, and this Emperuman is not only that, he is in the beautiful Vedas and their meaning. Eril Veda Purulhalumai. And then he is also Muvarumai, that the Trinity that is responsible for creation, sustaining and destruction. Therefore, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shivan, etc. They are all exactly they are Emperuman in disguise. Mudalaya Murti Amarndu Urayam Idam. Mudalaya Murti, the first cause. He is the one who is without a cause. Mudalaya Murti Amarndu Urayam Idam. So specifically the Muvarumai, that includes Shiva and Brahma as well. So they are also specifically stated as not independent beings, that they also have Emperuman Antaryami in them. And then similarly in Nanmughan Tiruvantari, which is one of the Prabandhams, two Prabandhams of Tirumazhai Alvar, he says something even stronger. He says, now Tirumazhai Alvar, I should say something about the history of Tirumazhai Alvar. He, before he became a Sri Vaishnavite, he was actually, he experimented with a lot of other things. Epporul yar yar vai ketpinum apporul meipporul kanbudarivu. There is a Thirukkural that says, no matter what you hear from various people, the only way to know for sure is to try it yourself. Right? Epporul yar yar vai ketpinum apporul meipporul kanbudarivu. Have direct experience so that you know for sure that this is what it's supposed to be. Now, Tirumazhai Alvar, before he became Sri Vaishnavite, he tried everything else. He tried Buddhism, he tried Jainism, and he tried he was also a Shaivite for some time. In fact, he sang before he eventually became a Sri Vaishnavite due to the effort of pAAlvar, the third Alvar of the first three Alvars. So there was pAlvar who is responsible for convincing him that Emperuman is the supreme being. But this Tirumazhai Alvar specifically said, Sakyam Gatrom, Samanam Gatrom. He's referring to his past where he tried everything. And so he speaks, he kind of seems to say that I speak with authority because I've tried all these things. So I know when I say that this Emperuman is the greatest thing. So he says, Sakyam Gatrom, I learned Buddhism. Samanam Gatrom, I learned Jainism. Shankaranar Akhiya Agamanul Araindom. I was even a Shaivite for some time, and then I'm familiar with all the Agamas of Shaivism as well. Bhagyatal, but finally, out of my Bhagyam, my good fortune, kainkaryam Serdom. So finally, I attained this dark-bodied, red-eyed one, namely this Emperuman, Tidilame. So there's we won't have any bad effects hereafter. Engatku ariyadu onriyal. Now that we have the blessing of Emperuman, there's nothing that is difficult for us to achieve. Engatku ariyadu onriyal. But anyway, this Tirumazhai Alvar, I mentioned it because he makes a reference here to Brahma and Shivan, etc. So in some sense, he says that perhaps stronger than you might find other Alvars saying, and that's because he has been in all these other camps as well. And therefore, he thinks that he speaks from direct experience. So what he says is, Nanmuganai Narayanan Padaithan. Narayanan, Emperuman, Padaithan, created Nanmuganai, this Brahma, this four-faced Brahma. And then what did Brahma do? Nanmuganum, that Brahma too, Tan mugamai, Tane mukyamaga irunde, Tane mudalaga irunde, being the primary mover, Shankaranai Tan Padaitan. He created Lord Shiva, he says here. And then he goes on, Tirumazhi Seyarvar goes on to say, Yan Mugamai Andadi Melittu Arivitten Aarpurulai. So this and other great such truths, Aarpurulai, deep truths, Arivitten, I am announcing in this Antadi called Nanmugan Tiruvantadi. Yan Mugamai means importantly, I'm announcing all of this in this great Prabandham called Nanmugan Tiruvantadi. And he uses a very interesting expression. Ivlo romba kashtapattu indha oru knowledge indha ஞானத்தை நான் கற்றிருக்கேன். அந்த ஞானத்தை உங்களுக்கு நான் ரொம்ப சுலபமா கொடுக்கிறேன். நான் கஷ்டப்பட்டு எனக்கு கிடைச்சது இது உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப சுலபமா கொடுக்கிறேன்னா, the least you can do for me is நான் கொடுக்கறத வந்து நீங்க அப்படியே சிந்தாமல் அப்படி அதை பருகிக்கோங்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு அவர். சிந்தாமல் கொள்மென் நீர் தேர்ந்து, நான் இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டு கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்கிறத உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கறதே நீங்க சிந்திட்டேனாக்க அது வந்து ரொம்ப பிரயோஜனம் இல்லாம போயிடும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்றாரு அவர். Okay, and similarly Tiruvayamari also, maybe Thurum, Brahman, Sivan, Indran, aDaikkalap, Navik Kamalam Mudal Kirange. So with maybe Thurum, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, etc. Maybe Thurum, Avargalam Virumbi Torarala Emperumana. So they willingly pray to Emperuman, it says here. And where did they all spring from? Mudal Kirange. Kirange means where they came from. That is their root. They came from the Nabhi Kamalam, that is the Kamalam, that is the Tamarai Poo that comes from the Tirunabhi of Emperuman. That is the starting point. That is the origin of all of them. Umbar and Aduve. Okay, so the Umbar means referring to Nitya Suris and the Aduve. They also came from this Nabhi that it says here. Okay, and of course Adi Mulame, when Gajendra said, cried out to Adi Mulame, according to the stories, all the other gods reportedly stepped aside because Adi Mulame means one without a cause. And so all the other gods stepped aside because they thought and they knew that Emperuman is the only one to whom that description fits, and therefore he's the only one who can answer to that call. That's why everybody stepped aside. And anyway, Emperuman also helped Brahma. And so there's a pasuram from Periya Tirumuri which says that Emperuman helped, actually I'm sorry, in this case it helped Lord Shiva get over the Brahmahati dosham that came from Shiva removing the fifth head that Brahma had. So Aran Kundu Tiriyum Mundam Madiniraithu. So according to the legends, there was a time when Shiva had removed the fifth head that Brahma had, and that stuck to him, and he also got this Brahmahati dosham, and he was not able to get rid of that Kavalam, that skull, from his hand. And the one that finally rescued him was Emperuman. Aran Kundu Tiriyam Mundam. Munda means Kavalan. Aran means Shiva. Aran Kundu Tiriyam. The one he was wandering around, the Shiva was wandering around with that Kavalam, and Emperuman, to rescue him, he filled it with his Bhiksha and then removed his Shabam. Avankan Sabam Adaninkum Mudalvan. So Emperuman is the one who removed that curse on Lord Shiva. But anyway, all of this is, I'm just giving this as reasons for why Swami Desikan is saying what he is saying in this pasuram. This Kadimalaral Priyada, which means that this lady who lives on this fragrant flower, she never leaves him. That has been stated in multiple pasurams. The original one is Agalagillen, Irayam Endru, Alarmel Mangai, Vraimarba, there is Tiruvayamari. Then also in Tiruchinnamalai, which is one of the Deshika Prabandhams, he conveys the same idea again. Agalagilla, Tirumagalar, Anbaruvandar. Tiruchinnamalai is very beautiful because it's like Gattiyam. You know, when a king is coming on the back of a yanai, for example, elephant, there's somebody who announces who heralds the arrival of the king by saying so and so is coming, and he announces it majestically. That's exactly what Tiruchinnamalai is doing as well. Agalagilla, Tirumagalar, Anbarvandar. In fact, every line of this Tiruchinnamalai pasurams, they have this Vandar, 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 etc. Ends with Vandar, Vandar, etc. And anyway, I've also talked about this Mangunda Tol Marvel Mania, even when he went there even when he took the Vamana Avataram, Periya Pirati went with him, but he hid her effectively by using that deer skin. Okay. Let's go to this pasuram and try to chant it. So as usual, I will chant each phrase. You can chant with me the second time. Chadai Mudiyan Sadumagan Endre, Chadai Mudiyan Sadumagan Endre, Ivar Mudalam Taramellam, Ivar Mudalam Taramellam, Adaya Vinay Payanagi, Adaya Vinay Payanagi, Arindu Vidum Padigande, Arindu Vidum Padigande, Kadimalaral Piriyada, Kadimalaral Piriyada, Kachinagarattigiri, Kachinagarattigiri, Idamudayarulalar, Idamudayarulalar, Inayadigal Adaindene, Inayadigal Adaindene. Okay, now number 3, pasuram number 3. And the bottom line message of pasuram number 3 is that prapatti is accessible to all. So unlike some of the other upayams, anyone can practice prapatti and hope to attain salvation. It doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter what varna that person belongs to, etc. And that's the point that is conveyed by this pasuram. Let's go through the summary meaning. Prapatti is accessible to all. It is not restricted to a few. And he elaborates on this. So, for example, it says, Swami Desikan says, anyone shuns other upayams, anyone who shuns other upayams like bhakti yogam, stays on the virtuous path prescribed for them, like varnashrama, follows the mantras like Vedas, Tirumantram, Dvayam, Charamaslokam, etc., and Acharya's explanations, and realizes the difference between bhakti and prapatti and surrenders to him. So all you have to do is to understand that there is a difference between bhakti and prapatti, and you also have to shun these other upayams like bhakti yogam, and you have to stay on the virtuous path. And you have to follow the mantras, the messages conveyed by the mantras and the acharya's explanations, and you should realize the difference between bhakti and prapatti, and then with just surrender to him. If you do that, then you will receive the infinite mercy of the Lord of Hastigiri, and it doesn't matter who you are. So anyone who shuns, there should be a who here, anyone who shuns other upayams and who stays on the virtuous path prescribed for them, who follows mantras and acharya's explanations, who realizes the difference between bhakti and prapatti and surrenders to him, will receive the infinite mercy of the Lord of Hastigiri. It doesn't matter who they are. In that sense, prapatti is accessible to all. And it goes on to say, I know of no glory other than this impermanence glory, this Lord of Hastigiri's glory. Okay? So let's try to go through the word by word meaning. Tandirangal verindri tamadu vari ariyade. So tandirangal verindri. So no other upayam. Tandiram refers to upayams. Veru other upayams. Indri no other upayam. So using no other upayams. So if you're going to do prapatti, you will shun all the other upayams. Okay, so that is a requirement. And then tamadu vari ariyade. Vari means margam or path. You should not deviate. Ariyada means you should not deviate from your path. The path here refers to the path, virtuous path. So think of it as a virtuous path. You know, so sometimes people would say it's the path of varnashrama dharma, but in general, you can just take it as a path of virtue. So tamadu vari ariyade, tammudaya margam, tammudaya padayai kulaikamal, so they're not deviating from their virtuous path. Mandirangal tammalum matrumulla urayalum. So directly from the mantras, but the mantras like Vedas and also the Rahasya Trayam, remember the Tirumantram, the Dvayam, the Charamaslokam, etc. Those are also included in these mantras. So from the Veda mantras and other mantras like Rahasya Trayam, etc. Mandirangal Tammalum, so from those mantras, and Matrumulla Urayalam. Uray means Vyakyanam. So and the Vyakyanams of Purvacharyas, and the other Vyakyanams of Purvacharyas. So using both of those, directly from the mantras, as well as by studying the Vyakyanams of the Purvacharyas. So when you do those, you will get some jnanam. And with that jnanam, you will understand the difference. Andaram refers to the difference. In this case, the difference between bhakti and prapatti. Andaram kandu, realizing the difference between prapatti and bhakti. How did you do that? Because of all of this, by getting jnanam from the mantras directly as well as from the vyakyanams. Andaram kandu, realizing the difference. Adipanivar, those who surrender to Emperuman. Anaivarkum, all of them who do that, all of them who surrender. Avargal ellarukkum arul puriyum. So Emperuman will show his mercy to them. And where is this Emperuman located? Or who is this Emperuman? Sindura Verpu Irayavanar. Irayavanar means Lord. Lord of Sindura Verpu, Hastigiri. So Sinduram is also another word for Hasti or Yane. Sinduram has other meanings as well, like the kungumam or the kungumam that you may wear on your forehead, that is also referred to as Sinduram. But in this case, Sinduram referred to here is Yane. Sindura Verpu. Verpu means hill. So Hastigiri, Lord of Hastigiri, Rayavanar. So the Lord of Hastigiri, Anaivarkum Arul Purivan. Avan Ellarukkum Arul Purivan. Adipanindar Ellarukkum Arul Purivan. அவனுடைய சீலத்தை தவிர, அவனுடைய உயர்ந்த கல்யாண குணங்களை தவிர, அல்லது அறியேனே, I don't know, I know not any glory other than his glory, his kalyana gunas. Okay, so basically it says here that anyone who understands the difference between prapatti and bhakti, and realizing that bhakti is not meant for them, so shunning it, etc., and then doing a surrender, he will get the protection. He will attain moksham, and from this Lord of Hastigiri, and his glory is so great, and I don't know of any other glory than his glory. Okay, so that's the meaning of this particular pasuram. Now the last line where it says Seelam Alladu Ariyene. Now normally Seelam refers to Kalyana Gunas in general, but sometimes people who give yakyanams, who give interpretations, also say that this particularly refers to Emperuman's from Emperuman's particular gunam called Saushiliam. So Saushiliam is the absence of snobbishness. Uyarndavan, Tarndavanai Tanakku Samamaga Karduவது, that is called Saushiliam. So Emperuman, of course, he is Uyarndavan. Avan nammai avanukku samamaga karudinal, adu avanuடைய Saushiliam. Okay? So, for example, there are many examples. I mean, even the very fact that Emperuman was born as Krishna in Ayarpadi and lived with the cowherds of Ayarpadi, that itself shows his Saushiliam, because he chose to be with those cowherds, treating them as their equal, even though he is a supreme being, right? So in that sense, Krishna Avataram has a lot of examples of Saushiliam, but even in Ramayanam, the fact that Sri Rama never made a distinction, he never thought that he was much higher than the other people that came into his life. For example, Guha was just a hunter, and whereas Lord Rama, he was a king, and he could have said, well, this Guha is not my equal, but that's not what he said. He became a friend of Guha, and not only that, he actually called Guha a brother of his. In fact, the pasuram from Kambaramayana that I'm going to quote will say that. Okay, so Guhan is one, Sugrivan is another. So Sugrivan is after all a monkey, but Lord Rama didn't think of it that way. He didn't say, no, this Sugriva is a Korangu, therefore he's not equal, he's not my equal. He didn't say that. He referred to him also as a brother. Yes, a brother. And similarly, in Vibhishana is a Rakshasa, right? So a Rakshasa, why should Emperuman think of the Rakshasa as being equal to him, and let alone his brother? But in fact, according to Kamban, he treated him as a brother as well. So in this, this pasuram is Sri Rama talking to Vibhishana, and this is very beautiful. So in this pasuram, yes, Lord Rama essentially says, you know, Vibhishana, you are now like a brother to me. We were born as just 4 brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. We were born as just 4 brothers. But when I met Guhanodum Aivarane, we became 5 brothers when I met Guha. He was so kind to me, and I have to treat him as my brother. There's no question about that. Guhanodum Aivarane Munbu. So with Guhan, we became 5 brothers then. And then what happened, I met this Sugriva, and when I met this Sugriva, we became 6 brothers. Pin, Kundru Survan Mahanodon. Sugrivan is supposed to be the son of Surya, the sun god. And who's the sun? The sun is supposed to go around the Meru Malai. So the Kundru Survan refers to the fact that the sun goes around the Meru Malai. So Pin later, Kundru Survan, that the one that goes around Meru Malai, which is the sun. Avanudeya Mahan, Avanudeya Mahan, which is also sun, that's S-O-N. This is S-U-N. So the sun's son, Mahanodum, Aruvar Anem. So with Sugriva, we became 6 brothers. And now he says, then he addresses Vibhishana. Now look at the way he addresses Vibhishana. Look how kind and beautiful this one is. Yemmurai Anbin Vanda, Ahan Amar Kadal Ayyad. You see the word Anbu, that means love. And there's a word Kadal, what does it mean? It's love. So he refers to the fact that Vibhishana has so much love for him. He uses that word Anbu, or the equivalent of the word Anbu, twice in this expression. Says to Vibhishana, Agan Amar Kadalaya. Un Aham Muruvadum, un Agatil Amarndiruppadu Anbu. Agan Amar Kadal Ayya. Oh friend, Ayya means a friend. Agan Amar Kadal, you have love residing in your heart, living in your heart. And Emmurai Anbin Vandani, Anbudan Ennidam Vanda. You see, the word Anbu or Kadal appears twice in this expression, and therefore it indicates how much Lord Rama thinks of the love of Vibhishana. Emmurai Anbin Vanda, Aganamar Kadalaya, Ninnodum Eluvar Ane, உன்னோட சேர்ந்து விபீஷணா நாங்க 7 சகோதரர்கள் ஆயிட்டோம், நீயும் எனக்கு ஒரு சகோதரன் தான் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ரொம்ப அழகா சொல்றார். But you think that that's beautiful? Well, wait until you get to the very last word of this pasuram. And this is the last line of the pasuram. It says, Pugal arum kanam tandu pudalvaral pulindan nundai. See, you know what he says? He says, you know, that Dasharatha, he sent me to the forest. Yes, maybe that was a bad thing to do. But you know what? That sending me to the forest won him 3 additional sons. And so he now shines with those 3 additional sons. So you see, Pugal Arum Kanam Tandu, he gave me that forest, he says. Tandu means he gave me. Pugal Arum, it's a very harsh forest that nobody would want to enter. Pugal Arum. Puguvadarku Arumayana, Kashtapadakuriya Kanam, Kartinai Yanakku Tandu. Then what did he get in return? He got 3 additional sons. And as a result, he Pudalvaral Pulindan, he shines with those 7 sons now. And look at the way he refers to Dasharatha. He says, Yaru there? Unnoda appa abdingram. Vibhishana, anga paare, unnoda appa irkan liya. And he's referring to Dasharatha. And he's talking to Vibhishana and referring to Dasharatha as unnoda appa. And the unnoda appa irkan paare, அவன் என்ன காட்டுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சது வாஸ்தவம் தான். ரொம்ப எல்லாரும் கஷ்டப்படக்கூடிய காடு தான், அது வாஸ்தவம் தான், அதுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சாதான். ஆனா அப்படி அனுப்பிச்சதுனால அவனுக்கு 7 புதல்வர்கள் கிடைச்சா, அந்த எல்லா புதல்வர்களாலும் சேர்ந்துட்டு அவனுக்கு எவ்வளவு ஒரு தேஜஸ் வந்திருக்கு பத்தியா உன்னோட அப்பாக்கு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்றான். He didn't even say நம் தந்தை. So he could have said நம் தந்தை. He didn't say that at all. He said உன் தந்தை, specifically about you. Because you see, you have joined this clan of brothers now, and therefore he wants Vibhishana to feel that he is really part of this group, elite group of people who have Dasharatha as their father, and therefore he refers to him as Nundai, your father. It's very beautiful. Anyway, this is from Kamba Ramayanam. But this just goes to the fact that Emperor has demonstrated his Saushilyam in multiple avatarams, including Sri Rama Avataram. We normally, when we talk about Saushilyam, we think of the Krishna Avataram, because in Krishna Avataram, it's so easy to see. Cowherds, he was one among the cowherds. Well, what else can you, what other proof do you need to show that he has the Saushilyam, right? But even in Ramayana, where he was a royal king, and he was not a person who fooled around quite a bit like little Krishna did. Even then, he demonstrated his Saushilyam by considering Guhan, Sugriva, and Vibhishana as his brothers. Okay. So anyway, so this is number 3. So let's go back to the pasuram and try to learn it. Okay. Tandirangal verindri, tandirangal verindri, tamadu vali ariyadu, tamadu vali ariyadu, mandirangal dammalum, mandirangal dammalum, மற்றுமுள்ள உரையாலும் மற்றுமுள்ள உரையாலும் அந்தரங்கண்டடிபணிவார் அந்தரங்கண்டடிபணிவார் அனைவர்க்கும் அருள் புரியும் அனைவர்க்கும் அருள் புரியும் சிந்துரவற்பிறையவனார் சிந்துரவற்பிறையவனார் சீலமல்லதரியேனே சீலமல்லதரியேனே. Now the whole pasuram together. தந்திரங்கள் வேறின்றி தமது வழி அழியாது மந்திரங்கள் தம்மாலும் மற்றுமுள்ள உரையாலும் அந்தரங்கண்டடிபணிவார் அனைவர்க்கும் அருள் புரியும் சிந்துரவற்பிறையவனார் சீலமல்லதரியேனே. Okay, now on to pasuram number 4. Now, I mentioned in the context of Srinivasa Dashakam that one of the angams of Prapatti is this thing called Maha Vishwasam, great faith. That is, you have to have that great unshakable faith that Emperor will protect you when you surrender to him. And I tried to give a tremendous number of examples and also slokams like the Charma slokams, the Sharanagati Gadyam, etc., to make sure that you, whenever your Mahavishwasam falters, you will go back to these examples, you will go back to these slokams, etc., and reinforce your Mahavishwasam. So Mahavishwasam is needed for Prapatti. And in this pasuram, this 4th pasuram, and what Swami Desikan tries to do indirectly is to build that Mahavishwasam in you by giving lots of examples of various figures from our legends who attained what they wanted through Prapatti. And so the ostensible message of this pasuram is, of course, we do it primarily for moksham. That is, we do Prapatti primarily to attain moksham. In fact, we are not supposed to use Prapatti for alpa palangal. So in that sense, we should be careful about what we use Prapatti for. But what Swami Desikan says is that in general, it can be used for many things. And the examples that he gives, people have done Prapatti for various purposes. And no matter what they try to get, whether it is pleasure in this world, some relief in this world, or whether they were asking for liberation or moksham, so they got exactly what they wanted. But indirectly, like I said, you should use this pasuram as a way to reinforce your Mahavishwasam. So he will give these examples like Kagam, that is the Kakasharan, Ragadan, Ragadan refers to Vibhishana, Mannar Kadava refers to Draupadi, Kshatrabandhu, Nagam, the Gajendra refers to Gajendra, Brahma, Aran means Shiva, Ayan means Brahma, all the Devas, etc. So he says that all of these people at various points, they got the benefit, they got the blessing of Emperor by essentially doing some kind of Sharanagati of some sort. And they got not only pleasures in this world like Bhogam, they also got the Moksham, Veer, etc. And anyway, so therefore I have surrendered to the Emperor in Hastagiri as well. Okay, so here's the summary. Prapatti is capable of giving all requested palans, whatever they may be. So that's the ostensible message of this pasuram. And many have received this spare or Lord's infinite mercy for various ends, for various palans or benefits. Kakasharan was not asking for moksham per se. He was just asking for mercy. He was asking for relief from the Brahmastram, and he got that. Kakasharan, Vibhishana, Draupadi, and even the cruel one, Kshatrabandhu. When I was describing Srinivasa Dashakam, I went through the story of Kshatrabandhu as well. He was one of the most cruel persons in the Puranas, and so he was so cruel that he was actually exiled. Nobody liked him, and even in forests he continued his terrible ways. But ultimately, he ran into a rishi. He happened to help a rishi who had fallen into a pond, and the rishi was so pleased by what he did that he wanted to help him in some way. So he taught him the Govinda, the mantra Govinda. So the Nama Govinda. That Govinda is referred to as one with 3 aksharas. And so you would see that Moonru Tudaya Peral. So that Moonru refers to the mantra called Govinda. So this rishi taught Kshatrabandhu this mantra of Govinda. And Kshatrabandhu, whether he believed it or not, he went on and chanted this Govinda. And as a result, he was able to be born in the next birth as a much better person. And following that, he apparently attained moksham. So that he was redeemed by the Govinda Nama. So the Kshatrabandhu was redeemed by the Govinda Nama. But he was a very terrible person. So chanting the Govinda Nama is the equivalent of Sharanagati here. And anyway, and also Gajendra also got what he wanted. The word Nagam here can be used to refer to either Gajendra, or it could be used to refer to that Kaliyan from Krishna Avataram. You know, that the snake that was in the pond, which was giving a problem to the residents of the Iyer party. So anyway, so whether it refers to Gajendra or Kaliyan, I think that word will still be suitable. But I'm going to treat it as referring to Gajendra. Many people do think of that as Gajendra. And also the residents of Devaloka like Shiva or Brahma, they have also benefited from Emperuman's mercy, it says here. And they have all received either samsara bhogam or that ultimate palan called moksham, depending on what they asked for. So in that sense, prapatti can be used for multiple benefits. Seeing how everyone has received any palan they've asked for from prapatti, I too have surrendered at the glorious lotus feet of the Lord of Hastagiri, and all of these examples effectively help me reinforce my Mahavishwasam, which is a key anga of prapatti. Okay. Now he's not going to say right here that it is a key anga of prapatti, but if you can anticipate what is coming later, then you will know that this is intended to boost your Mahavishwasam. Okay, so let's learn it word by word. Kagam. So this is now referring to all the people or all the things that received benefits or received the mercy of Emperuman. Kagam is Kakasharan. Irakadan is Rakshasan, Vibhishana in this case. Mannar Kadali. Kadali is the wife. Mannar Kadali, wife of the kings. The wife of the Pandavas in this case, that is Draupadi. Mannar Kadali. So when we chant it, we will split it here. But really, Mannar Kadali is one expression. Mannar Kadali. Kattirabandhu, that is a summarized version of Kshatrabandhu. Nagam, we will take that to mean Gajendra. Aran, Shiva. Ayan, Brahma. Mudala, etc. Mudala means starting from them, all of them, all the Naga, Nagarar, Damakkum. All the residents of the Devalokam, Naga, Nagarar, Damakkum. This Nagam also means Deva, so the heaven. Naga, Nagarar means Devalokam, Damakkum. So all of the residents of the Devalokam, they have also benefited from Emperuman's mercy. And how did they benefit? They either got Bhogam. Bhogam is some gratification in this world itself, some pleasure in this world itself, or Vayar Vida, of course, means moksham. Vayar Vida, the glorious moksham. So they either got gratification in this life or they got moksham, the glorious moksham, pera, they attained it. And Ponnarul Seidamai Kande. So he says that Emperuman gave them his golden mercy. Pon Arul Seidamai Kande. Ponnarul, Arul means mercy. Ponnarul kind of means golden mercy. That is the great mercy. Our Emperuman adai seidadai paarthu, நான் பார்த்தேன். இவர்கள் எல்லாருக்கும் எம்பெருமான் தன் கருணையால் அவர்களுக்கு அடைக்கலம் கொடுத்ததை பார்த்து நாகமலை நாயகனார், நாகமலை ஹஸ்திகிரி நாயகனார், the lord of that, so the lord of the Hastigiri, நல் அடிப்போது அடைந்தேனே, that lord's நல் அடிப்போது, glorious lotus feet, நல் அடி, adi means feet, glorious lotus feet, அடைந்தேனே, I surrendered. Okay, so basically it gives a lot of examples and then says, I saw that he has shown his infinite mercy and gave them what they asked for, and therefore I am also going to do prapatti, but prapatti specifically to the lord of this Hastigiri, and the prapatti that I'm going to do is, even though he doesn't mention it explicitly, it is for the purpose of attaining moksha. So that is the meaning of this pasuram. Now, I think when I went through these examples in the Nyasa Dashakam, I kind of explained them extensively, so I'll just give a very brief mention. So I told you specifically about this lady called Tirukkolur Penpillai, who was referred to many of these stories in her using very pithy expressions, very short and very profound expressions. For example, the Kagam, we've already talked about Kagam, but Iragadan, the Rakshasan, so she, when talking about about Vibhishana, this Tirukkolur Penpillai says, Ikkarakke Chandreno Vibhishananai Pole. So she was actually talking to Bhagavat Ramanuja, and she says, oh Acharyare, don't worry about the fact that I'm leaving Tirukkolur because I'm not a great soul. This Tirukkolur Penpillai Rahasyam is, I would say, it is the magnum opus of all the Naityana Sandhanams, the self-deprecations. And so this lady says, so நான் கிளம்புவதை பற்றி நீர் கவலைப்படாதேயும் ஆச்சாரியரே, because I'm not worthy of your pity, because I've not done anything. Have I been as good as Vibhishana? Have I been as good as Draupadi, etc.? So in 81 such questions, very rhetorical questions from her perspective, she says that she is not worthy of the kindness of Bhagavat Ramanuja. She says, Ikkarakke Chandreno Vibhishananai Pole. Vibhishanan, he renounced everything that he had in Lanka, and he came over to the other side. Ikkarakke Vandanavan, Ikkarakke Chandranavan, Emperumanidam Sharanagati Seivadarke. Now, have I made any great sacrifice like this Vibhishana? She says. Of course, in Valmiki Ramayanam, there is this beautiful slokam here. Soham parishitastena dasavacchavamanitaha. Soham parishitastena means reviled by Ravana, because Ravana was strongly criticized Vibhishana. He actually said, "Vanna madri எனக்கு ஒரு தம்பி இருக்கறச்சே எனக்கு சத்ருன்னு யார் வேணும்ங்கறது அவசியமே இல்லையே" அப்படினு சொன்னான் ராவணன். So Vibhishana is referring to that here. So this is Vibhishana talking to this is in Ramayana. He's talking to the Sugriva and the monkeys. So this is not Vibhishana to Sri Rama, it's Vibhishana to Sugriva and the monkeys, because then later he talks to Sri Rama and he says something similar, not quite the same. So he says, Soham Parishitastena, I was reviled by Ravana, and Dasavachava Manita, and I was humiliated as a slave by him. And so what have I done? So Tyaktva Putramsha Dharamsha, Tyakta means abandoning or leaving. So leaving Putramsha, my sons and wife behind, Dasavach Raghavam Sharanam Gataha. I have come to take refuge with Sri Rama. So basically he's saying that I have renounced everything that I had in this world, all the wealth. In another verse later, when he talks to Sri Rama, he's also going to say, I've given up all the wealth that I had in Lanka as well. So this is Vibhishana. He has given up everything that he had and then surrendered at the feet of Emperuman. And that is Sharanagati of the highest order, because he has made a tremendous amount of sacrifice. So in Thiruvaimuri, Sri Nammalvar refers to something along those lines. He says, talking about himself, Melar Devargalum, Nilat Devarum, Mevithurum, Malar Vandi Inanal Adien Manate Manina. So he says that Emperuman came and came to rest in my mind. What kind of Emperuman is worshipped by Melar Devargalum, all the Nityasuris, Nilat Devargal, all the Bhagavatas here, Mevithurum, Virumbi Thurugindra Malar. Malar means Tirumalar. Vandu, he came, Yananal, Indaya Nalile, Adien Manate Maninar. He came to rest in my mind. And you know what? From now on, Sele Kanniram. He says, from now on, he is going to be everything for me. Sele Kanniram. So the women who have fish eyes, namely, is referring to wife. So from now on, he is going to be my wife. He is going to be my perumsal, my great wealth. He's going to be my nanmakkal, or my children. And above all, Mela, Thai Tantayam, he's going to be my father, he's going to be my mother, he's going to be my father. That's exactly the attitude that Vibhishana has taken, because he has given up his actual sons, his children, and his wife, and the wealth that he had. And he has essentially made a statement that, oh, Rama is everything for me from now on. Sele Kannirum, Perum Selvamum, Nanmakkalum, Mela, Thai Dandairum, Avare Ini Avare. Okay, so Vibhishana Sharanagati is something that you should remember. Now, Irugayum Vitteno Draupadi Pole. So this is probably the most beautiful metaphor for Mahavishwasam, because Draupadi, for a time, she was trying to hold on to the sari when the Vastra, when the Manabhangam was taking place, when Dushyasana was trying to remove her sari. But then afterwards, she surrendered to Emperuman, she surrendered to Krishna. And when she did that, she let go of the sari. That's her final statement, saying, I have surrendered to you. Protecting me now is your responsibility. You know, in Bharatiya's Panchali Sabadam, it's a very beautiful piece of literature. Bharatiya describes the prayer of Draupadi very beautifully. It is very heartrending, really, when you go through that. It says, I'll just quote a few excerpts from the Panchali Sabadam. Hari 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 Endral, Kanna Abhayam Abhayam Unak Abhayam Endral. So look at that repetition, how that repetition appeals to your heart. Hari 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 Endral, Kanna Abhayam Abhayam Unak Abhayam Endral. Kariyanukku Arul Burinde Andru Kayathidai Mudalayin Viru Madithai. Annikku nee Gajendranukku help panniye nee and Mudalaya konnu nee and Gajendranukku help panniye. Kariyanukku Arul Burinde Andru Kayathidai Mudalayin Viru Madithai. அந்த மாதிரி எனக்கு நீ இன்னைக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ண கூடாதா? கரியனன் நிறமுடையா என்று காளிங்கன் தலைமிசை நடம் புரிந்தாய். அன்னைக்கு காளிங்கனுக்கும் நீ அது பண்ணிய நீ, அவனுக்கும் உன்னுடைய கருணையை காமிச்சே, அது மாதிரி எனக்கும் உன்னோட கருணையை காமிக்க கூடாதா? ஆதியில் ஆதியப்பா கண்ணா, அறிவினை கடந்த விண்ணக பொருளே, ஜோதிக்கு ஜோதியப்பா என்ற சொல்லினை கேட்டு அருள் செய்திருவாய். நான் சொல்றதை கேட்டு எனக்கும் என் அருள் புரிய மாட்டாயா? நம்பினின் அடிதொழுதேன் என்னை நான் அழியாது இங்கு காத்தருள்வாய். This is the most heartrending part of her appeal to Krishna. என்னுடைய நாணம், என்னுடைய மானம் அழியாம இருக்கிறதுக்கு நீ எனக்கு காத்தருள மாட்டாயா? நம்பினின் அடிதொழுதேன் என்னை நான் அழியாது இங்கு காத்தருள்வாய். ஆஃப்டர் ஆல் திருக்குறளை சொல்லியிருக்கார், பெண்ணீர் பெருந்தக்க யாவுல கற்பென்னும் திண்மை உண்டாக பெறேன். ஒரு பொண்ணுக்கு கற்புன்னு ஒண்ணு இருந்துனாக்க அவளோட வசதியா உலகத்துல ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்றாளே. நானும் கற்புள்ளவள் தானே, எனக்கு என்ன காப்பாற்றணும்னு உனக்கு தோணலையா? நம்பினேன் அடிதொழுதேன் என்னை நான் அழியாது இங்கு காத்தருள்வாய். நோக்கினர் கதிருடையாய் இங்கு நூற்றுவர் கொடுமையை தவிர்த்தருள்வாய். இந்த 100 பேர் இருக்காள, இந்த துரியோதனாதிகள், அவ பண்ற கொடுமையை நீ அழிக்க மாட்டாயா ஓ கிருஷ்ணா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்ககிட்ட சரணடைகிறார். And of course, Krishna, of course, saves her. Now, there's a beautiful pasuram in Periya Tirumazhi where Tirumangayalvar talks about this particular episode, and he says, Andagan Siruvan Arasardam Arasar Kilayavan. So what he says here is that Andagan is the blind man, Dhritarashtran, Siruvan, his son, அரசர்தம் அரசர்க்கு, that is Duryodhana, who thought he was the king of kings, avanakku ilayavan, so that is Dushyasana. Ani izhayai chendru, he went to the lady who was bedecked with his ornaments, that's referring to Draupadi, who had all these abharanams. Endamakku urimai say, you are our slave from now on, you are our adimai, he says. Endamakku urimai say, என தரியாது, அதை திரௌபதியால் பொறுக்க முடியவில்லை. எம்பெருமான் அருள் என்ன, எம்பெருமானே எனக்கு அருள் செய்வாயாக என்று அவள் சொல்ல. And this is the part, the second part is the one that is most beautiful. சந்தம் அல் குழலாள் அலக்கண் நூற்றுவர்தம். சந்தம்னாக்கா ரொம்ப அழகான, கருமையான, அல் means கருமையான. So the அழகான கருமையான தலைமுடியை உடைய திரௌபதியின் அலக்கண் துன்பத்தை நூற்றுவர்தம் பெண்டிரும் எய்தி நூல் இழப்ப. The distress that she was in, what Emperuman made sure was the wives of those 100 Duryodhanadis, they got it. நூற்றுவர்தம் பெண்டிரும் எய்தி நூல் இழப்ப. அவளுடைய மாங்கல்ய சூத்திரம் இருக்கு, அவளுடைய தாலி கயிறு அருந்ததான், பின்னாடி அறுபடுமோ இல்லையோ, அந்த அது இப்ப அழுதுனா இவளோட டிஸ்ட்ரெஸ் இவளுடைய சோகம், இவளுடைய கஷ்டம் அந்த துரியோதனாதிகளோட மனைவியர்களுக்கு போய் சேர்ந்து அவர்கள் தாலி கயிறை இழக்குமாறு செய்தான் இந்த எம்பெருமான் அப்படின்னு. In fact, some Vyakhana Kartas would say that the sari that Krishna was giving Draupadi, that sari was made, where did the thread come from? The thread with which the sari was made, the thread came from the thali kaira of the women of the Duryodhanadis, the wives of the 100 Kauravas. Okay, Indiran Siruvan Therman Endranai Thiruvallikkeni Kandene. The one who helped him, of course, is Krishna, and Indiran Siruvan refers to Arjuna. Indiran Siruvan Therman Endranai, avanakku Saradhiyaga nindra the Krishnanai, the Krishnan who saved Draupadi, avanai Thiruvallikkeniyil Parthasarathiyaga paarthen அப்படினு சொல்றாங்க. Okay, so I think I will stop here and then I will continue next week. So let me just finish off with Kavitarkiya Simhaya Kalyana Gunasaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.